Hey guys, Shane here. Before we get started today, I want to ask you a quick favor. Please hit that subscribe button and give this podcast episode a share on social media so that we can help more families start, build, and grow a membership of their own. We appreciate that so much. Thank you for listening today. And now on to the podcast.
Hey y'all, on today's podcast, we help Heather and Topher grow their brand new ukulele membership. During their entire marriage, Heather and Topher have worked together by supporting each other's interests and careers. Topher is a musician who uses his talents to entertain at live concerts, and Heather has spent time in the coaching world online. When the pandemic hit in March, it caused a major disruption in their lives. With live venues and gatherings canceled all over the country, Topher had to stop playing music live. But then they found the Flip Lifestyle podcast. Heather joined and heard our story of her husband and wife building a business together. She immediately joined the community and posted in the forums asking, "Do you think a ukulele membership for kids might work?" Shane said, "Absolutely," and helped them create their launch plan. Now Heather and Topher have launched a growing membership of over 60 families from around the world. Learn how they did it on today's Flip Lifestyle podcast.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Flip Lifestyle Podcast. It is great to be back with you again today. Super excited to help another real member of the Flip Your Life community. And we got two members today. We've got a couple on the show. We've got Heather and Topher Holt. Heather, Topher, how y'all doing? What's going on?
Hi.
Hello. Yeah,
I
you
am
can
so
India with us.
Do what? Yeah, man, I'm pumped to talk to you. You got a great story. I love it when I get to see the genesis of an idea, like actually in the forums, like, well, you think this would work? And then we're like, yeah, it'll work. Let's go. And then someone actually releases it and does it and makes it happen. And I cannot wait to share this awesome success story today and also to help you guys take it to the next level. But first, I want to learn a little more about you guys. Tell us a little bit about where you're from, a little bit what you were doing before you got into this online business membership game, and what is your background for the audience?
Sure. Let me start. Sure. So, first of all, we owned our first probably step into entrepreneurship. We owned a brick and mortar retail store together for about 10 years and closed that down 4 years ago. And I actually stepped into the online coaching space. So I've been working with entrepreneurs and women kind of in transformational life coaching and business strategy. But we always had this, we really want to figure something out together. And so Topher has been a singer, songwriter, performing artist, working especially in arts integration in schools for, almost 10, 12, 15 years. I don't know. Goes back, way back.
Long time.
Long time. So we're trying to figure out something together. We're doing these trainings and different programs, high level programs together, trying to figure out moving together in the online space. And sorry, we're going to have our kid distractions coming in too.
Hey, listen, we are in this. Hey, listen, I got a kid literally on the other side of this wall taking a shower. I can hear him. I hope the water's not coming through the wall, but that's real life. That's how we all do it. Ain't no sugarcoating or fake Instagram pictures here, guys. We're good to go.
We've got grandma in the other room that is on dog watch. If dog's barking, she's going to let the puppy in to see us.
I got 300-pound dogs running around the backyard right now. There could be I don't know what's going on outside.
So anyway, we've been trying to figure this out, what to do together. Finally, we weren't making a lot of headway together. So probably about, at this point, almost a year ago, I decided to completely step back from coaching. I'd been in a really bad car accident too, so I had to kind of choose what all I could handle in life and go all in on streamlining his marketing for his in-person performances. And so we had just actually spent 6 months booking out the busiest season ever in his performance business when literally COVID hit and the doors shut. Like,
oh my gosh, you just pivoted to do this.
Yeah.
And it shut down on you.
And it was finally looking good. Like,
I mean, this last 6 months that we would have gone through would have covered all of the no income months plus the year ahead. So it was like all of that was about to hit. It's crazy performance season and it shut down. Yeah. And so I remember first I cried a little bit for a day. I was like, oh my gosh, are we going to feed
And that's
kids?
Okay. Because listen, I would cry too. I mean, that's seriously.
Yeah. And it was like, I just kind of let go of everything that I was doing with coaching, which was really, taken off a bit, and to really focus on our passion to work together in this. And so then you guys had your ad going out for, I think it was like 2 months free, like for the pandemic, like let's just all be in this together. And I think sometimes in the online space, it's amazing how big that we think, like, let's, don't just shoot to make a living, shoot for $1 million. But I think we're at a point where we're like, we just need to listen to Shane and make a living right now.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey, man, all you need is 100 people to give you $50 a month, and you make $60,000 a year. Like, we can live on that, people. We can do that. We can be content.
Yeah, and so like your message, I had seen you guys pop up, and first we were drawn to you. I was drawn to you because of your faith being out there, because faith is really at the center for us of everything that we do in our life, and then also you and Jocelyn working together as a couple. So just some things there that were really stuck out to me, and then I was like, what do we got to lose? Let's jump in. And that was probably the most fun, was that. So that happened to us, where we're like, okay, we got to pivot. We got to figure this out. And then joining your membership. And then we're laughing because we're in a program where the trainings are like 8 hours long. So we'd been through like 72 hours of figure out what the heck you're going to do. And we still didn't know. And then we were laughing because we watched your half-hour video on like come up with your idea.
And I remember when she brought it to me, because the other training, I love my wife. She brings me these trainings like, hey, do you want to do this thing?
And I can sit through like.
And usually I'm like, well, how long is this one? Well, this is going
to. What day am I not getting back of my life? Here we go. Started at 8 a.m., finish at 8 p.m.
Right. So 4 weeks went by, and I finally finished all these trainings. And she's like, well, do you want to do this one too? I'm like, well, how long is it going to be this time? She's like, 30 minutes. I'm like, what? Oh, yes. Let's do 30 minutes.
I'm like, all of Shane's trainings are like 30 minutes. We got this.
Oh, my gosh.
So, yeah, we did that training. And I'll never forget, because we're folding laundry. I'm folding laundry on the ping pong table. He's like cleaning up something in the basement. We're listening to this thing.
I was gluing a rocking chair together, and I'd had that rocking chair for about 4 years, and I was something I kept meaning to get around to fixing, and I'm fixing it and feeling so good. And I bring up the rocking chair because at the same time I had wanted to teach for a long time. Like people
keep asking
for
to teach
for 20 years. Like, I'm mostly a kids performer, so parents are always coming up to me like, will you teach my kid what you do? And I'm like, just not, no, I can't do that. I'm a performer and I'm not a teacher. And slowly over the years, I started teaching more and more. And then lately, before I listened to your thing, I probably had, 5 or 6 different people ask me within the last couple months, like, are you doing any online teaching? I'm like, maybe I should. I don't know. But there was always this thing of,
meanwhile, I've been trying to get him online for years. Like, come on, we got to shift. We got to make the shift. It's like,
well, in that training, one of the key things about finding your God-given talents and experiences that you can build a business on is one of the success leaves clues. And if people keep asking you something, that's probably a pretty big clue that something's pulling you toward that, or that you have enough expertise to do that thing. And boy, you did, right?
I think I was being too much of a perfectionist in my mind that, well, I can't do it the way I've seen that guy do it, and I can't do it this way. So I'm not going to do it. And then when in 30 minutes, you talked about, you don't have to have it all together. You just say a bear is chasing through you through the woods.
That was our favorite.
You just need to be faster than the guy behind you.
That's right. Expert enough, baby. I got to be fast enough. Like if me and you are running through the woods, I got a feeling you're probably going to outrun me and the bear's eating me. But I just got to be faster than the next guy, or at least trip him. I got to do something. I can get away from the bear one way or the other.
Just so you know, Shane, if you and me are ever being chased through the woods, I'll turn on the bear with my knife.
All right, man. Yeah, I'll turn and fight it with you. It'll be like that movie with what was it, Alec Baldwin movie where they fought that bear at the end? I don't even remember what it was. If anybody knows that, go over to the show notes and tell us in the comments what that movie was. I can't remember. Edge or Fear or something.
Liver and Stewart's a different bear fighting.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like it was Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin, and they were fighting a bear at the end. And Alec Baldwin, they were brothers, and they all loved each other. Then they turned on each other at the end for no reason, and it made no sense. The movie was terrible. So I don't know. All right. So let's talk about what parents were asking you. That's what I think we need to look at here is. So you've come to this point where you're taking all these crazy trainings. You finally find something that's like, wow, we're actually eating the elephant one bite at a time. We take our bite and we're like, you're gluing a rocking chair, you're folding laundry, you look at each other, and what was the idea? Like, what was the idea that you ran with going forward?
Well, you talked about somebody that had a club or a membership for just people who wanted to get together and just play guitar. He wasn't necessarily even teaching them guitar. He was just playing with them. And I was like, man, maybe we can do something where we kind of mix play and community and just having fun around the subject.
Well, another big
with
thing,
instruction.
another big thing was in the time that we're in, and with what, like the work that I've done with adults, which was kind of how can we really support kids in this time, because they're feeling very isolated and all this stuff that's going on with them. So how can we also take some of my skills with his skills for music? And I mean, and a lot of the work he was doing in schools too, like helping to incorporate resilience and mindfulness. And so all of, meditation. So it was really the first time where we saw ourselves moving together, because like retail store was mine and he helped.
Yeah.
The music business was his and I helped. Yeah. But this felt like this is the first thing that we could really see. This is us and us combining our skills together to help kids right where they're at. And it applies to all time, not just a pandemic, but right now, what more important time to really have a light for kids. And that was the other piece, is that we had started, we said, okay, all of his stuff is shut down. He does school performances and library performances. What can he do? So we started saying, well, let's just reach out to schools and libraries and say, hey, I'll pop on for just a short live session to bring some light into kids' days. And as he started doing that, the feedback from kids and parents would start coming in the room on the Zoom and go, what's going on? Like, my kid is so lit up. And he started getting feedback like, this has brought so much life to them. Yeah. Just having you come in with music. He's just so great with kids. So that was a huge part of it was like, how can we not only build a business, but bring light and life to kids and families during this time? Yeah. So it was really this, like, it was almost like, we don't even care about the money, like this, like, passion driven, we're
just going to help kids right now.
And trust that God's going to supply all of our needs and through this. But that's like really, that was the thing, that we're such connectors that I think was what really was driving us too.
Sure. So what's the name of the website? I mean, you posted in the forums one day about this. Like, do you think this would? Didn't I read it? I read a lot of posts, as you can imagine in there. Yep. Like, but didn't you all post in the forum like, do you really think this will work? Like y'all posted over like, here's our idea. You fleshed it out, and it's about a ukulele. That was what I remember reading this, because you don't read the word ukulele and not remember it, right? And so what was that post, and then what is the name of the website?
So the name of the website is kidsukuleleClub.com.
Is it ukulele or ukulele?
So technically it's ukulele.
I'm telling you right now, in Appalachia, it's ukulele. Right?
You say ukulele. But if you say ukulele with, anyone, especially from Hawaii, which our assistant, who is amazing, was actually born in Hawaii. So you need to say ukulele.
Hawaii and you say ukulele.
Yeah.
Well, listen, if they're not careful, we'll start calling it yakulele. Okay, so they better be just give us what we got, and we'll play it correctly. Okay, we'll do our best. We will do our best. Okay, all right. So you started. So you come in. You're like, I think this is gonna work, and we were like, yeah, that sounds great. People do it. Guitar Guy did it. So you start this ukulele site just with lessons, with planning, with blogging. What'd you do?
Because of like some of my background, a little bit in the online space, I love running 5-day challenges. And so I thought, hey, how can we do a 5-day challenge framework and just kind of drop this idea into there, because it's a great way for people to connect with us. So we came up with the 5-day Kids Ukulele Fest. So 5 simple steps to learn your first ukulele song for 6 to 10-year-olds. And so we just decided, well, let's do that. And so we started marketing that right away. And also I've worked with Kajabi. So we kind of had some of these ideas. So I was like, let's do Kajabi's 28-day trial. And if we can make it work in 28 days, then bam, we're in business. So
all you need is 4 or 5 members and it pays for itself.
Exactly.
Right?
So it was kind of a fun, let's actually go through this with a whole different business. So for me, it was really fun to see something. from idea to paid members was 2.5 weeks.
Wow.
So that was just really cool. And so we have the bite-sized lessons that drop in there, and then we're still wrapping our head around using the forum for our kids, so they have a way to connect that's not on social media, and then we do live jam sessions every week. So we kind of knew that was the frame that we wanted to use for it right away, and we just started running, and we didn't look back.
That's awesome. So you do this 5-day challenge, right? Mm-hmm. And I would love to have a discussion in the Flip Your Life community forums about your format and your framework for 5-day challenges, because that would be an awesome discussion, because that's an area I don't know a lot about, and I would love to learn from you, actually.
She crushes
That would
it.
be fun.
That would be awesome. You need to start a post about that. I think that would people would love that post, because and also too, some people probably do them and you get something out of it too, just going back.
Oh yeah, you learn so much from each other.
Oh yeah, the forums. I learn something new every day in the forums, every single day. So you launched this membership. And how many members did you get at your launch, and how many members do you have now?
So the first one, so we've launched it twice now. The first one,
we made it our goal to be 30 was our goal for the first launch.
The first one, we made it our goal to be 30, but we totally did it organic. And so we had 72 people that went through our free challenge. And an average conversion rate might be 5%. And so we thought, okay, but our goal is 30. So we're like, you got 72 people and our goal is 30. And so we ended up with 27. So we had almost a 37% conversion rate on that first one. And we did the $1 trial, which was so much fun to do a $1 trial with kids, because their mouths on the Zoom. I wish we had a screenshot, because they were just like, what? $1? Like they were so excited. Yeah. And then we had 85% of them stayed and have still been with us. So that was almost 4 months ago now.
Yeah.
So, and then to answer your question where we're at now, we did another launch, and this one we used ads, which was so fun because we built our list up to 1,300. Our ad was crushing. It was shared 186 times.
Love it.
And it was 62 cents a lead, I think, on the ad. So we had 1,300 people in, and I think we chickened out a little bit. We weren't sure, should we do the $1 offer? And so we changed up our offer a bit. So we didn't convert as high, but we converted more at 5%. So right now we're resting at 61 members.
Wow. That all because, this is amazing. It almost makes me cry when I hear people bust out of the gate with over 50, because I just know, I have a saying. I say this to everybody. If you can find one, you can find 101. You can find 1,001. It's just true. There's 7 billion of us running around this planet. You can find 100 people. You really can. And like a guy posted today in the forums, and he was shaking. He said, my adrenaline. He said, I haven't felt adrenaline like that in my entire life, because he got his first organic opt-in. It wasn't even a member. He just launched, but he had no idea 2 weeks ago, launched a blog, and he's already got organic traffic with an opt-in. And I'm like, yeah, if you find one, you'll find 1,000. And in that 1,000, there's probably 100, right? Members.
Cool.
And to hear you guys blow it out of the water like that. And what's cool is you've done exactly what you're supposed to do too. The first thing you do is you roll up your sleeves and you go out and you do it organically. And then you're like, hey, we've made some money. Let's reinvest this by opening our wallet, and then we will buy some ads. And you got some more people into your funnel. Yeah. And you're clearly the passion. Great copywriting comes from great passion. It really does. So the reason your ad is getting shared is because you've identified a God-given talent and experience that you like, and you can turn it into something that can serve others. And that's why your copy is converting. And anybody listening to this right now, if you want a powerful example of what to do, find your idea, run with it organically. If it works, reinvest, and then keep the passion flowing through the project, and the mission will explode. There's no, you don't even have an audience yet. You haven't even really built. This is another example too of product first. This is why we say launch the membership, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one thing. That's another thing I love about challenges is they build your audience so naturally. So many people say, "Well, I don't have an audience." It's well, then do a launch. That's what builds the audience.
Yeah, you got to create the content. And I heard a guy the other day say, all you perfectionists out there, you're not really perfectionists, because the only way to perfect something is to release it out into the world and see how it performs. And then you improve it, and then you perfect it. And nobody ever, the problem with most people is they don't get to the and then, right?
Yeah.
And that's what you guys have done. You started a ukulele club. Like, don't anybody out there thinks their idea won't work. We got a ukulele club on the show today, and next week is a goat farmer. So you know what? How about this? I got goat farmers and ukuleles coming at your head. You better get your idea out there and release them.
Those clubs could work together.
Goats and ukuleles.
And not only ukuleles.
What if you were riding a goat playing an ukulele?
Yes.
We will
I said it
do that.
right. Ukulele. I even said it correctly.
Hallelujah.
I think also we really focused in because there are a lot of adults that asked him, and even while we were launching, they're like, what about adults? What about teens? And we were like, no, we're focusing on kids, maybe later, but really focusing in.
Yeah.
That was hard.
You're not invited. Sorry.
That was hard, but really focusing.
But that's even that's an easy pivot though, guys. Like it's not really a new avatar. Like all you have to do is change your marketing a little bit that says do this with your kids, and they will learn how to play the instrument as well. So it's not even a new segment, right? It's just it makes the game more fun for the parents.
Yeah.
I like what you said about the perfectionism. There's something I picked up years ago that said, "Don't worry, be crappy." Like just
I need a shirt. That's going in the swag store.
Yeah, just
right
get
there.
it out there.
Yeah.
And one other thing I wanted to throw at you guys, as far as just stepping out and watching it happen, like, just not waiting until you think you have it all together. You talked about scriptures and things. I think of the nation of Israel when it was time for them to cross the river, and the river was flowing. It was big and scary and intimidating. And God told the priest, step out into the river, just go. And it literally, they're in the river, and keep in mind, there's a whole nation behind them following them, and they're still not sure if they're hearing from God. I'm like, okay, is this really you? Because here we are. They got to the point where they were up to their high waist. Water still hadn't stopped. And then finally, as it did. And one more thing around that, my father is a pastor. He said, in the moment that they stepped into the river, they were able to somehow in history prove there's a town way up the river called Adam that it literally stopped right then.
Yeah.
So as soon as they stepped in, it stopped, but they didn't see it until a few miles of river finally stopped, and then they were able to cross. I think that's just a powerful thing of stepping out before you understand and see it all.
You never like someone. The biggest question that I always get, and I get a lot of questions, right? But almost if you've ever been to a member call, you know this. It's just rapid fire every 5 minutes. We're just going through them. But most questions boil down to, do you think this will work? Do you think this subject line will work? Do you think this ad would work? Do you think this ad platform would work? Do you think that Kajabi would work? Do you think that ClickFunnels would work? Do you think this membership would work? Do you think this, it's always, do you think this would work? And what's funny is I can detail strategy. I've got an idea for you guys. I'm going to give you here in a minute, whether you prompt me for it or not. But I've got I know a lot of strategies. I know a lot of tactics, but here's the thing. I don't know if anything will work until you push send. I don't know if an email is going to be well responded until I hit send. I don't know if it's going to, I got one the other day that we got it was blistering hate. Someone was like, F you, Shane Sams. And I'm like, what did I do? I was just checking on you. I got all these, and then some people were like, oh, that's the kick in the pants I needed. And you just don't know. You don't know. You think, and any sentence that starts with, well, I think is probably wrong. Because you don't have enough evidence. I posted something the other day. I made up this quote. It was because I was thinking about everybody was just shouting on Facebook like they always do. And I was like, most of us don't know half of what we think we do. And the other half don't know half of what they say they do on Facebook. They just don't. None of us know anything until we experience it, until we do it. Yeah. And stepping out in faith, man, is not just about your spiritual walk. It's it's stepping out in faith to let your kids spend the night at somebody's house. It's stepping out in faith to get in your car and get on the interstate. And we do those things. What's the worst that can happen if you step out and release a blog post? that leads to a sales funnel that has a membership behind it. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Nobody buys it. They're already not buying. You're already trapped on that side of the river.
They're already not buying.
Like, get in the river. Like, you're already on this side of the river. If you get in the river and it's like, go, and nothing happens, we got to get back out. I mean, it's whatever, man, like just release it and it works. And then you get 60 members and you're teaching people did you look at the demographics? Do you know where people are? Like, are people everywhere, like all over the country?
Yeah, now they are. We had a little bit the first time, a lot more like in our area and, people we're connected with, but now we have people all over the world. So that's really, really fun. And that's like, when we spent time just kind of praying and visualizing each morning of our first launch, and one of the things we visualized was 1,000 kids from all over the world, and we pictured them in person because, like, big vision is someday we'd love to have family camp time, and then we have
in Hawaii
big youth sessions. But so we were envisioning kids like that. So when we did the 5-day Kids Ukulele Fest last time, and we had people from all over the world. That was just awesome because we're like, we have it. We have over 1,000 kids from all over the world, just like we were envisioning. So that was really cool.
It's amazing. Well, let's talk about what happens next, okay? Because you've created a great foundation. Your first goal is to get to 100. I mean, you're going to get to 100 soon. Maybe do a third round of beta and then stop opening and closing. That's one thing I really want to stress for you guys. Like, challenges are cool, but make sure the membership is kind of already flowing, right? It's just there. These ads that you can run all the time to this are going to be like really, really like super powerful. And I teach a concept. It's usually at a much higher level. I don't really put this in the Flip Your Life community because our focus is to get people launched and to get them doing the fundamentals that are correct to grow the membership. But this is actually a part of the $1 Million Membership Funnel that I teach in workshops. And one thing that you can do with the ads that's going to blow your mind really is to go back to the dollar trial. Go back to that dollar trial for the ads, okay? But that's not what we're trying to accomplish. We're just trying to give people what I call the price of least resistance into the funnel, okay? And if you're getting leads at 62 cents, right, or whatever it is, like that dollar trial almost covers the lead, right? Like $2 trials is almost a lead and a half or whatever. So like that's not going to be a problem to kind of liquidate right there or be a little behind. Like most people don't realize for memberships, you can spend up to 2 to 3 months of lifetime value. If you have 6 months lifetime value, you can spend, the first 2 months membership to get a member, right? So you got some built-in wiggle room right there because your leads are so small right now. But like what you need to do is get them to take the dollar trial. And like, let's say, how much is your membership a month right now?
$29.
Okay. So it's $29. Perfect. So what you do is they take the dollar trial. Immediately on the thank you page is a video, right? You're saying, Topher, this is probably you on the video, right? Like, hey, I'm so excited. You're a part of the club now, right? You're going to uke it up with me and it's going to be awesome. And like this is a parent sitting here watching this video. So let's think about our audience. They've signed up for their kid, right? But the parent, it's going to be so fun. You're going to have so much quality time. It's going to be this, that. You're future pacing exactly how awesome the membership is going to be. But then what you say is right there on that thank you page is, I know you're going to love this. I want you to commit to learning this instrument. I want you to commit to spending time with your kids. I want you to commit to all the great things that are going to come out of this from a mindset space and all this, that, and the other. And then you say, I love to reward people who commit. So right here on this page only, if you'll click that button below, which is a one-click upsell, we're going to upgrade you to the quarterly plan for $50. That's a full month free every 3 months. I'm going to give you a $29 discount. It's 33% off. And what you do is you get probably, anywhere from 10 to 30% of the people will click that button and they'll say, sweet, I'll commit now. I'm committed to my kid. I'm committed to learning this instrument. I want to commit and he's going to give me a discount to commit. Wow, that's cool. And they will click that. We're converting at 37.5% right now. I just checked it like 2 days ago.
That's awesome.
And, yep. But here's what you do. This is where the greed kicks in a little bit. You got to wait for the next 90 days. They'll pay it again. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That money goes back into ads to get more trials, to get more upsells, to go back in the ads. And what's happening is, let's say 10 people join the dollar trial. You with me? Yeah. And let's say 2 people take that quarterly upsell. We now have $100 for ads, but we've got 8 people moving through onboarding to get that first month retention. So you're still going to spit out, 4 or 5 more members at the end, and you're giving yourself a raise the next month. Yeah. But by doing that upsell right there, you're getting longer term members. Quarterly members are amazing. They stay forever. It's always our highest LTV. So you're getting great members that are going to be locked in and committed to the program. They're paying up front that day as soon as they bought the $1 trial to help fuel the ads to go get the next 10 members, right? So that little wheel at the beginning of the $1 million membership funnel, that is designed to create what we call the infinite ad budget. Now, it's infinite as big as your audience. It's infinite as good as your marketing. But if it works, and once you get it humming, we had someone do this back in February, the last time I did the $1 million membership session, and they got 172 quarterlies in the first month or two. That's awesome. And they were just fueling that back into lookalike audiences to get more members. And then you're still spitting out, if you got 8 people moving forward, you're still spitting out 3 or 4 of those people as monthly members. But I really think for you guys where you are right now, I feel like you've got enough advanced hold on this stuff. If you can put that one part, and the $1 million membership funnel is this really long, giant piece of paper thing. It's like this sequence and churn killer sequence and upsell sequence, and it keeps going, right? But that little triangle at the beginning of start with the price of least resistance, drive traffic to it, quarterly upsell, any money that comes from the upsell, shoot them back up into ads to get the next batch of members. You're going to just start spitting people out, right? Yeah. Left and right. And you're going to get more commitment. You're going to get more money up front. And, sooner or later, you just start, how much can we spend? You just keep pushing it. If you get a quarterly member, raise your budget on your ad. Let's go.
I like that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Totally.
It's really good.
Okay. So I just had to throw that in real quick. But is there any other questions you guys are having right now? Any problems running the membership or managing the membership? Or is there anything else that you need some follow-up with?
I think if we were going to ask anything, I feel like the biggest challenge is doing this together and still figuring out our
roles.
So we're not both trying to do the same thing. There's definitely some roles that are very clear. He's creating music content. I do pretty much anything to do with Kajabi emails, and we have a team member. But yeah, just hearing how you're saying, you and Jocelyn are dividing and conquering, any tips you have around that as you guys run a business together too.
Yeah, it's not easy. Right. Sometimes most of the time we bring out the best in each other, but sometimes it's the worst. And that's just, we're married, we're parenting, our kids are getting emotions and they're growing up, and that's even more complicated. And the business is complicated because there's so many people that we talk to every day, and all those emotions swirl in between us all the times of what's going on here and there. And the biggest thing you can probably do, and again, this is a lifelong struggle. I think you're kind of committing by doing this together to this lifelong struggle. There's going to be seasons of, we got this figured out. And then, there's going to be an evolution and, we don't have this figured out anymore. And the funny thing is, when you don't have it figured out, it really sneaks up on you. You look up and we didn't have this figured out a month ago, but we've been living in it for a month. And now there's friction and traction and problems, right? So I would say that there's 2 books I would really get right now, probably at the beginning of your journey. One's called Vivid Vision. I forget what the guy's name. He wrote Good to Great too, I think. Collins, maybe?
Jim Collins,
yeah, really, really small book, 150 pages. That's going to help you take this newfound blob of awesomeness that you've created and what do we want to shape this into, right? Okay. Getting on the right side of the vision together is going to be really, really critical if you're going to do this together. Okay. And now the next book is called Who by Jeff Smart, Geoff. I've talked about this book on the podcast before, but what it really does a good job of is it helps you build teams. Well, right now you're a team of 2 plus whoever's helping you. Right. And inside it, there's a concept called the scorecard. And basically, every job in a company needs a scorecard with clearly defined roles. And it tells you how to do that in the book. But if you could make a scorecard for each of you based on the vision, then what's going to happen is you have a clear referee of, well, this is clearly Topher's and this is clearly Heather's, right? And if you can clarify those expectations, clarify roles, and do not share any of the duties. That's a mistake, huge mistake in couples. Then, it's going to be really easy because you're going to have talked about this and through this. And, you're going to struggle and say, well, I think I should do that. And you're going to go, I think I should do that. And you may have to flip a coin to see who actually does it, because it doesn't matter who really does it, right? But if you can do that, you can maximize your efforts, minimize your conflict, and keep moving toward the right place together. Because it's not just, I want 500 members. It's why. Like, what's the vision behind it? And that's going to unite you guys.
I love your vernacular around it. Scorecard, referee, flip a coin. Like, it just all sounds like it's fun and it's a game, and that's one of
it is. And marriage is 3 people. It's
right.
It's you two and God. Like, so, but you know what else it is? It's rules, and we have to have some guardrails, or I'm going to bust into Jocelyn's lane and she's going to break into mine. And that's been our key source of conflict as the business grew, was who does what. We both can do anything, and that's kind of frustrating,
Yeah.
So, but those 2 books will really, really help you guys do that. Okay.
That's really good.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Love it, guys. Listen, I am so excited to see what happens next for you guys. I got a feeling you're going to be back on here really soon, and you're going to be, you may end up on Membership Masters at this rate. I'm just saying, you may end up over there with some crazy, amazing, like the largest uke website on the planet. So, but I really want to thank you guys first for just coming on the show today, sharing your story. I want to thank you for like coming into our community. You're an asset to our community. Great post, awesome to talk to. And I just cannot wait to see what happens with you guys next.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Thank
buddy.
you.
This was really good.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
What an amazing story we had on today's Flipped Lifestyle podcast of 2 people, a couple who said, you know what, let's go forward together. Let's find our idea. Let's launch this on our Facebook page to just our friends, and let's put some ad money behind it, and let's see how far it will go. And what happened? They got 60 people within a couple months to pay them $29 a month. And they've discovered a passion for an amazing online business, an amazing membership site that is using their God-given talents and experiences to not only help kids and help families all over the world, but it's going to change their family's future as well. We would love to help you find your idea inside of the Flip Your Life community. We have 4 courses that will help you find and identify your God-given talents and experiences that you can turn into an online business. These courses will help you research your idea to make sure that it can and is already making money online. And then we've got another course that is going to help you choose. If you've got multiple ideas, if you're overwhelmed, we're going to help you pick the idea that you can try first. And all of that is inside of the Flip Your Life community right now for you, for free. You heard Heather and Topher today talk about how we have bite-sized courses, easy to take action on, that move you step by step through the process of starting, building, and growing your own online business, your own membership site. And we would love to help you do that inside of the Flip Your Life community right now. You can get access to our entire idea training and our entire training library for 30 days for free. All you have to do is go to flippedlifestyle.com/free. That's FREEFLIPPED lifestyle.com/free. And you can start your 30-day trial inside of the Flip Your Life community. By the end of that 30 days, you can already have your idea. Heck, you may even be able to launch your membership. So go on to flippedlifestyle.com/free, and we can't wait to see you and chat with you and help you with your dream inside of the Flip Your Life community forums. All right, guys. Wow. What an incredible story we had today of success. But before we go, we always like to close every one of our Flip Lifestyle podcasts with a verse from the Bible. Jocelyn and I get a lot of our inspiration and motivation in our business and in our life from the Bible. And I'm super excited today because we're bringing Heather and Topher back over here, and they have a Bible verse that they would like to share with the audience. So guys, take it away.
Yeah, so Ephesians 3:20 says, now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all you could ever ask or imagine, according to the power that is at work within you, for his glory. There's just so much to be able to unfold that. But for me, it's saying, it's not a matter of, God, do I have what it takes? Because he's telling us, yes, you have what it takes. It's, I believe in you so much, son. I'm cheering for you. Are you willing to do what it takes? Because if you do, this is what's going to happen. And it's not even really about the big prize at the end as much as me and you connecting father and son connecting, father and daughter connecting as we do it. As the power that's at work within you. So I love that one. I thought I'd share that with you. It's been helpful in us starting what we've started.
Love it. Thank you guys so much, man. That was a good verse. Ooh, got chills. Got chills, man. Got chills. You said power. And I said, whoa, it's preaching on me here. That's what I'm talking about. That's all the time we have for this week, guys. Until next time, get out there, take action, and do whatever it takes to flip your life. We'll see you then.
Bye.
As soon as we get off, you can turn off Do Not Disturb. It's all good. Okay? All right. One more thing before we go. Thank you so much for listening to the Flipped Lifestyle Podcast. If you love the Flipped Lifestyle Podcast, if we bring a little joy and a little happiness and we bring some knowledge into your life every single week, could you do us a favor? Go to Apple Podcast and hit subscribe. Download a few of the podcast episodes onto your phone. Apple's algorithm loves seeing downloads and it loves seeing those subscribes. And please leave us an honest review over on Apple Podcast. That'll help us grow the show, expand the mission, and reach more people so that we can help them change their family's future as well. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.